I think they started late. So yeah, Necro down 6-1. That's a surprise to me. 2 minutes to go, this one essentially over, and you're going to have MassD going up big on, I presume, the first map pick. I don't know whose map pick it would have been.
Yeah, you know, I'm not too sure who would have picked this map.
Like I was saying, this is a map where two defenders can really can effectively lock it down, but sometimes you can put a lot of pressure on those guys to do the same thing. So, you know, you can see the scoreboard right there. It looks like Bob with another huge game. Despite 200 ping, really coming through. And you can bet that he was...
Is that right? I can't believe he has 200 ping.
You know, it might be it might be rounding up, and it might have been a spike or whatever. He was more in the 140 to 150 range last time. Last time when they played in the UK servers, so it might be that it's kind of like frozen at a higher tick or whatever. But bottom line is this one over it as soon as we jumped into it. I presume this will be map 1. There you have it. MassD taking huge win on Virility. They're just straight up asking the server for the info. Okay, so MassD winning their map pick, so definitely not the end of the world for Necro, but definitely I don't think they've lost before. I forget who they lost to. I think they lost to DTF.
TwinTombs.
Interesting.
1 minute remains.
So we're definitely going to see a TwinTombs match with two teams that are very experienced on it. Again, I think the last one I saw was, I think Shot Callers had to play it if I'm not mistaken. So definitely kind of a lopsided game on that one with players not so much familiar with it. We're going to see a bunch of guys who know what they're doing in this one, and one girl. So we'll see what happens on Necro's map pick. I've watched a lot of Necro. I've casted a lot of Necro in here. I'm not necessarily sure. I haven't talked to them about like what maps they like the most. But again, what they like to do, stick their two defenders back there, and it looks like they've got Taida in here. So if I'm not mistaken, that's basically what happened. Long story short is they picked up Taida to replace one of their missing teammates. So Taida, I believe, is going to be one of their defenders, probably alongside Pricks. However, I'll be interested to see how that affects things because that's not the same defense they've been running throughout the tournament.
No, and I think, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess I played with Taida, but I don't really know him that well. And Pricks and that Valoria was a good combination because much like Chowie and Zios, Valoria is just on you all the time, and Pricks has pretty decent hit scans, so they made a good combination.
Yeah, and that was really, I think, the key to their success was the fact that they could do like we saw with Shot Callers. They could put two solid D on an island and allow their offense to just run wild. And, you know, it couldn't really tell. It was too late to really see the dynamics of that last game. But I'm curious if that change in lineups is disrupting things. I know they had to pick up a player. Again, I also don't know exactly who they would consider their starting lineup on Necro either. I'm not quite sure if they've had trouble getting people to show up or anything, but definitely they gave up more caps on that Virility game than they have the entire tournament combined, put it that way. But again, credit to MassD. They chose their map and they played it well, and they won big on it. So now they're looking at a position where even if they don't like this map, even if they don't feel comfortable in this map, you don't even have to win this one. You can always take it to a tiebreaker.
Do you know who picked this map, Con?
This is Necro's map pick because
it is it?
I believe so. Let me double check the chat because they said yeah, MassD chose.
Okay.
So
gotcha.
they won their map pick.
Yep.
So you know, certainly not over for Necro. They could have just as easily played their map first and won it first, and you're still in the same position. You gotta You gotta take one from your opponent or win the tiebreaker. One thing I find really interesting about this map, especially from the defensive side of it, is the fact that you have amp in base, but it's slightly out of position. You have to go out of position for a couple seconds to grab it. So while there's no excuse for defense not taking every amp on this map in your base, you can sometimes get people distracted, caught out. They'll sometimes lose the timing of it, and offense can get in there and steal one away, and that can be a huge turnaround in a map like this.
Yeah, if offense gets that amp, it's so easy on this map to get like a big monster kill or something right in the flag room, because the players all spawn close to the flag room, so that generally when they die, they just teleport back into base, and you just keep knocking them off left, right, and center. So it's really important for defense to keep control of their amp on this map.
And I'll be curious to see. Okay, let's see. So you're gonna have. I'll be curious to see how MassD is playing now, because when they beat DTF, they did what Necro likes to do. They just had Combo Shock and Tolyan playing basically defense by themselves. Bob was playing more of a, not really a mid role, but kind of that distant offensive role. But again, not really sitting in mid much, not dropping back. So I'm curious to see if they stick with that, or if they've switched something up. Because again, Necro with a slightly different lineup, I'm not sure how effective or how this D is going to compare to the dynamics of the old lineup.
Yeah, I'm not too familiar with Solid Snake. I don't think I've ever played with him before, but Sonic and Simpson are very good attackers, and I know from experience that Sonic especially is very effective on offense on this map, and that may be why they picked it. They might also be thinking that Bob might be a little weak on this map, but I think Bob surprisingly knows this map quite well, so they might be in for a bit of a surprise there.
Yeah, I mean, this is another one of those maps that was never really favored in North America, but had been played from time to time, and certainly anyone who played any Instagib Capture the Flag was very popular in Instagib. So that's how I know this map, and all the little tricks and nooks and crannies. I can even remember early on in 2k4, I think in our first MLUT we maybe played this map. I've definitely played more of it than you might think, given that it was never really used on ladders.
Right. And one thing I want to comment about on Bob is forget about his fragging ability. He's got a real smart intelligence as far as where people spawn, and that's actually what makes him such a good fragger. So he knows this map well enough where I think he'll be able to walk over the D if they're not too careful. Definitely, if Bob gets that amp, watch out.
Yeah, so wide open in mid that if you get an amped lightning gun and you can just kind of perch up there, you can literally turn it into an insta-give game. It just becomes a shooting gallery. For every enemy player you see, you just pop them down, and you're really exposed when you're translocating across this map in mid. So cover is going to be huge. If teams can coordinate their offenses, if they can drop in on the defense with 3 people at once, just overwhelm them, that can be huge. You really got to. That's going to be more, I think, a later game. Once we pass that halfway point, the offenses can stay in sync. I think that's going to be a big factor in which one's going to be more effective.
Yeah, exactly. And I was getting a little bit of intel from one of the European players, Revolver. He's saying that it sounds like Solid Snake is a TDM player, so I expect him to play a mid position role, and if he's dropping back and helping returns, I think that's the most effective use of him, because I don't see Simpson and Sonic having much trouble getting the flag to their base.
Yeah, and like I say, I'm figuring both teams are going to play just a regular straight up 2 defense. So if your offense can overwhelm them 2-on-2, then that leaves your swingman to really help out a lot. But yeah, I saw the question in Twitch chat about why, how Tida ended up on Necro. There's a thread on the forums. There's some back and forth. I'm not entirely sure. Long story short, they basically were replacing a player who couldn't make it, and that's how it happened. I don't know the details of how they tried to figure out who to replace or whatever, but either way, he's here and we're playing
6, 5,
about 5 seconds.
3, 2, 1.
And it's game time, baby. Connex 5 here. One more time with Killer. This will be map 2 of Team Necro versus MassD. We just caught the very end of MassD winning their first map, or winning their map pick, the first one, on Virility. Something like 6-1. It was a big blowout. Kind of a surprise to me because Necro's D had been very... Oh, it's a combo shot pushing him right off the side of the map. Necro's defense has been extremely just dominant so far in the tournament. So to see them get torn apart like that in the last map is a little surprising, but they also have a change in lineup now. Oh, first amp gets stolen by Sonic. He doesn't do anything with it. I think that was a crush kill.
Don't see those too often.
Anyway, we're going to watch Combo Shock. Looks like, yep, him and Solian going to be on an island, like we said, and looks like Simpson's going down, Sonic's going to go out, and now you're in this weird position, that transition between flag leaving the base and flag coming to mid. There's so many routes on this map where you can really just switch things up and change direction.
Looks like Necro's in mid coming into their high rockets.
Yeah, they missed the return there. Luckily, they were able to get back to it. And Combo Shock, interesting. Chasing the offense back into his base to get some shots in as opposed to suiciding back. Worked out for him, he did some damage. 100 armor should be up any second. Let's see if anyone's on whichever side this is. Again, you can't switch to specific 100 armors.
Necro got 100 shield and a 50 shield going in right now.
The Imitator got 100 armor going into blue right now. He's losing most of that, however. Brick's just completely annihilating him there, so nothing doing on that side. He's got the flag. He's going to piston straight up to high. Nice rocket. Predicts exactly where it was going. So blue shuts that one down. Simpson, same thing, getting just completely torn apart by that minigun. Now Combo Shock finally got control of his amp. However, he had to give up his flag in the process. That's kind of what I talked about. You have to leave your flag vulnerable and able to get that amp. They're pistoling across. He misses his shot. He's going to be coming into their base. Sonic's low in there. He does have enemy flag carrier in front of him. He's going to go down from behind. Both flag carriers kill themselves. Both flags are still there. Taito with the pickup coming into his base low. I don't know where their flag is headed, but they've got red waiting for them in their base, so he needs to be patient here. Wait for his cover to get some kills. Oh, that's a dangerous move, taking the jump pad up there. If you get knocked down, it's an instant return. Somehow still alive. Blue all over their flag. However, they're leaving Bob to just basically walk right across the map. Actually pistons into the corner.
Yeah, exactly.
Waiting for some cover, doesn't come. That turn happens. Solid Snake has it back in their base. He goes down. Nice pickup. That flag got returned on the stick.
Wow.
As blue flag is now moving, and Imitator now pistoning across high mid. He knows that blue team is mostly in their base. He's not really going to get a rebound cap there, though, as blue recovers. So a denial right there. Keep that one in mind if it ends up being a one-cap game. Hey, now, being sneaky, taking a long way around. Very, very dangerous, though. Once the enemy team knows you're there, you're just a sitting duck. Sitting straight back over to his health, though.
Oh, nice piston.
Back, straight into his, completely doubled back on the defense there. They thought he was going to go left. He went right across him. Killing spree. He's in his base. If he can hit this jump pad, he may have a cap here. Hey, they got one guy in front of him. Necro, or Prix goes down. Necro's all over the flag, but they can't get him in time. There's the cap. Wow, nice move by Made.
A really nice piston by Made there.
And great timing. You see Combo Shock here with the amp, able to cover with amp in his base. Just a good job all around by MassD there. Watching Combo Shock, trying to, and see, that's the downside about playing where he's playing on that flag, is now he's behind the flag carrier, and he's going to be playing, a nice shot across the map, but...
Oh, Necro's in their base.
He falls into the... And that's the danger of taking the jump pad, trying to get that quick route straight to the flag, falls all the way down to the bottom of the pit, and you can see his spirit putting up to the ether.
Now, Team Necro really has mass defense out of position here. They're coming back into their base again with the flag.
Yeah, they have no idea where he is. They do now. Sonic getting all the way back to his base, though.
They just
One
gotta
cover
hold
kill.
that flag down.
Yeah, he's pretty much going to have an open path to the flag if they can just keep this flag room clear. Wow, so a nice... And that's why you keep up the aggression. Good job by Sonic, knowing that Red's D was out of position. And maybe you saw, again, maybe some of the red defenders not suiciding back when they need to.
That would have been a situation where you'd have liked to see one of those Blimpo moves where you leave it
Evolving roll
teleported
offense,
back
yeah.
in space.
Yeah, you get that cap, catch them out of position, and immediately get it back in your hands. That can be absolutely just devastating. Combo Shock now does have his amp again. And I wonder if that's what happened last time. I wonder if it was another situation where he had to give up flag control in order to get that amp. Two flags moving. We're going to watch Imitator pretty much just get locked down here. That's not really going to go anywhere. Let's watch some of Necro's D. I want to see what it's looking like from their side. Is Solid Snake actually defending?
I think he was actually. Simpson's got 150 armor going into the red base right now.
Oh, Red gets knocked right off the side. Simpson's with this flag. You say he's got armor. Oh, he just gets annihilated though.
That was a bit of a blooper.
Let's spread it around. I'm going to watch Necro's D. Again, a completely different... They got Pricks and Solid Snake on D. So kind of surprised. I thought Taito was a defender. Maybe I'm mistaken, but... Interesting move. Putting their TDM player in base, just kind of try to out-frag. Red comes in with 3 people, like we were talking about, staying in sync, completely overwhelming the D. He's going to get out. Yeah, it's going to be tricky. Let's see where he is. He's at the top area. There's going to be a nice return there. Once you get out into that mid area, it's interesting. There's so many ways you can switch up your routes, and yet it's also wide open. So there's lightning gun shots coming around from every direction, but you just got to get across there as quick as possible. Let's watch Toyin play some defense. Haven't watched him in a bit.
Red, MassD, they got 4 guys in the enemy base, so I don't know what's going on there, but they're coming out to mid with the flag.
Yeah, they seem to be moving back and forth, because now they have 2, and then they had a 3rd just in their flag room right now, so they seem to be kind of fluid in their positions, which can work, as long as you don't get caught out of position. But, of course, we did catch them out of position on that last cap, so...
Yeah, they're coordinating really well.
I actually see Red defense pushing up to take their 100 armor. Kind of a surprise there. Just heard amp, so it looks like Red combo shots got a pretty good handle on their amp. So doing a good job keeping that away from their offense. It's so important. Double kill by Tullian. It's so weird having to tap dance around that pit whenever you base. You know what I'm noticing from MassD is that their defense is very quick to push up to mid whenever they get bored. Like, they're patrolling around the base, and if they don't see anybody incoming, they'll push all the way out to mid. Oh, a nice air rock there by Tolian. Doesn't get the kill, but does a ton of damage. Armor again. What is going on? A player drop, maybe?
Happened.
Looks like we had a disconnection by somebody, or a crash. Looks like it was actually Combo Shock. I think I had been watching him a second ago. Yep.
I'll be right back, Con.
Alright, I don't think you're going to miss much, as right now we're just waiting for Combo Shock to get back in the server and keep things moving once again. If you out there who weren't here for the beginning, this is going to be Map 2. Map 1 was Virility. That was MassD's map choice. And they won it 6-1, I believe. It was pretty one-sided. Just caught the end of it on stream here. Necro now. This is going to be their map pick, and they went down 1-0 quick. They were able to rebound and catch a second flag cap to tie it right back up. Sonic actually caught Red's defense just out of position and just completely ninja'd one across the map solo. I'm going to keep an eye out on Necro's D, Pricks and Solid Snake playing D. Not their usual lineup. They've also added Taito to the mix. So a different lineup than what we've seen so far in this tournament. Necro being so dominant up to this point. Interesting to see how that affects things. Certainly MassD was a surprise to me. I think they capped 6 on Virility, which is 1 less than Necro has given up the entire tournament combined. I think they gave up 7 caps. No, they gave up 5. I think they gave up 5 caps and 7 maps coming into this game, or coming into this match. Been up 6 on Virility, so certainly some adjustments to be made for them. And it looks like we've got everyone back in the server and ready to go again. Both flags reset, just about the halfway point of this map. Head back over to... Let's see, who haven't I watched in a bit? Curious to see what Bob's doing in that offense. Well, he's dying. Necro is completely just turning away that wave of attackers. Simpson now getting the flag out to mid, dodging around a bit of combo spam, and he takes some rockets to the face. Didn't have any cover set up, and I think that's going to be key. We talked about earlier... Sorry, what's that?
Sonic has Amp coming into enemy base right now.
See him right now, kind of low on health. He will need to snag. Oh, it takes a rocket, or it takes a lightning gun shot immediately. Pulling out the Amp minigun, cover himself. He's going to be running this flag. No teammates really around him, but he will get it out to mid. The question is, will his teammates be waiting for him? The answer is kind of.
Nice piston.
Doesn't really matter though, as he does
Really nice
combo with pistons to get back into his base. Sonic now can kind of cover himself. He needs some help though. Flag goes down.
He needed somebody to push up there. Absolutely no help.
Yeah, Sonic was pretty much. But guess what? Red did not suicide back. Once again, we're seeing this where he basically cherry picked himself here, and now he's going to get out to mid with 50 armor and 100 health, and he's got a little bit of cover. I think they're waiting to see where their flag carrier goes. If I'm him, I push back and pick up those vials. But anyway, he's going to go ahead and push out to mid. He's going to try to come in as high, as straight route, straight into his base. This should be a pretty clear route if they can clear the base. He does have one waiting on him. Plenty of time to take him out, though. There he goes. Cover finally gets... And now he's in the, whatever you want to call this room. This is a great place for standoffs. Wouldn't be surprised. Oh, there's a kamikaze rocket. Don't think they're going to get the return off of that, but... Made now getting back into his base.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, wow.
Didn't see what happened on that return, but Made's going to be back in his base now. Now you're going to see this fight one-on-one on the flag stand. Made's cover is nowhere to be seen. He's got 2-on-1 in the stick. It's absolutely annihilated. 3 people just run over him. Again, we're seeing a lack of discipline. I think maybe on Red Team you needed to see some people suiciding back to clear their base. So both teams now giving up some just really, really close denials. Maybe giving up some caps that they think they should have had, so...
Made's in his base.
Yep, watching him coming in low. He's only got 10 health. If they keep it clear in front of him, he should be set, but this time he's going to be patient. Smart move. Oh, he turns the cover. Turns the corner, kills the flag carrier. Nobody gets the return. Everybody explodes, and Red Team's going to be able to get to this flag first.
It's just sitting there. Oh.
The defense actually pushes up to grab it. He's going to pass that flag along. Smart move.
I don't think they know where their enemy...
Nope, the flag carrier just ran into each other. Bob just ran out to mid. Ran right past their flag carrier.
Red doesn't know where Simpson is. Oh, they just found him.
Bob is running in circles in his base completely alone. I'm not sure they know where their flag carrier is. He's going to be able to drop back to Amp and get back into his base, but there's nobody back there to clear it out. Once again, Bob may start thinking about just hiding, because right now he's completely alone.
That's exactly what he's doing.
Oh, there he goes. The flag comes back. He's going to jump into his base a little bit recklessly. Hopefully his teammates can clear it out. He's back on the stick. We're going to see another denial, or maybe they'll finally finish off a cap. Rocket's coming in. Finally finishes it off.
Oh, good cap by Bob.
Yeah, he was completely alone for most of that. Luckily, he was able to stay out of sight and allow his teammates to get that return, and then they smartly went back to base and cleared it out this time. We've seen Red have that trouble a couple of times where they're not able to get the base clear once their flag carrier is back in there. That's going to give them a 1-cap lead. Just about a third of the game left to go. It's do or die time for Necro now. They really need to do something.
Sonic's going into his base low. If they can hold the flag, they should have this cap.
This could be another rebound. Oh, dodges those rockets. Again, he needs someone on him. We're seeing the same thing as last time. Flag carrier is all by himself in the stick. Last second kill. And the cap. Great move by Simpson. He got that last kill right before that flag got returned. Almost got denied again. And so, again, that's the second. Both of their caps have come off rebounds. So, Red's defense doing a solid job holding the flag down. But once it starts moving, they're not really getting back and setting up for defense again.
You can tell this is a map that Sonic has played a lot. His movement through mid is so effortless. It's really something to watch. Actually, he's playing really well.
Yeah, that's one thing about 2k4 that people need to keep in mind is that you're not just translocating in one straight direction. You can translocate and wall dodge and use all of that momentum to your advantage. The map with so many obstacles like this really get interesting.
So there's Maid. He's hiding with the flag right now. That's interesting. I don't know what he plans on doing with that, but
yeah, he's actually. Oh, he gets back out. So he's doing the old confusing the defense, letting them get out in mid routine. But I think Blue was slow playing this as well. He does get back into his own base. Now he's just going to hope his cover can catch up to him and get his base clear. Maybe running into a combo or some rockets if he's not careful. There he goes. He doubles back around into mid. Smart move by Maid.
Yes.
But now he's going to have to. He's only got one cover. Maybe they're putting an extra person on return. I'm going to go swap over to their flag. Both flags in the same position. They're in that sort of bouncy room, which is
I'll keep an eye on Maid.
All right, I'm going to watch blue team here. You got Simpson, you got Sonic above them. Both teams only have one covered. I guess that means they all have 3 on return. Again, such a big map, so many hiding places. Oh, that first trap works. Sonic not able to stop second kill from happening. He does get the pickup, so the flag's still perfectly fine. Sonic, though, is going to be on the move. 100 armor got taken.
Nate's had a couple clutch flak to the faces here, so he's doing a good job hanging onto this flag right now.
What Sonic's doing, he's running around the map trying to pick up the 50 armor in those vials. He's actually trying to get stacked, stay unpredictable, which is not a bad move. So many people get stuck in the habit of always going to that easily defended room. Sonic's actually kind of open. He's in kind of a vulnerable position, but he's in a position that you wouldn't expect him to be. So he's hoping he can get the kill before defenders realize what's happening. Gets one, forces them to chase him up the jump pad. So good positioning there by Sonic, basically corralling the enemy team up to where he was.
And
he is going right near the edges there as an enemy attacker came up there. He actually walked right by the vials. Kind of interesting. Maybe trying to be sneaky now. Sonic circling back around. Doesn't have any cover on him. There he goes. Finally has a teammate. Down to 30 health though. Oh, Red's up close. Gets the kill but can't get the return. He kamikazes on him.
Nade's in trouble right now. He's getting chased down by 2 guys. But he's doing a lot of what you said. Running around, collecting vials. Not staying at the same place.
Hey, you can see where he's hiding.
But he's hiding right now. He hides and then he moves, and then he hides and then he moves.
Definitely staying mobile.
Just stay in one spot.
We actually got Simpson back on his flag stand right now. They're able to get the kills though. But again, only one cover, so it's a bit dangerous. You see 3 red coming in at once. Figure at some point this war of attrition is gonna take its toll. Simpson down to 13 health. He's able to get back up, but man, he's just dancing around that pit. Oh, he passes the flag, almost gets intercepted. There's the return by MassD. And May's now going to be back in his base. Can they clear it back out? We've seen them have trouble again with this. I don't know if they're did see Tolian suiciding, so their defense is learning from their mistakes, but Maid now really back to square one. He's still just alone hiding in base. I'm wondering if they're putting 4 in return though. Wow, Maid completely doubled back on the defender there. There he goes. Finally has some covering himself.
Oh, Solid Snake dropped the flag. It's by their 50 shield, the enemy 50 shield. If they can return that, get capped.
To return, Maid though already sees there's a cherry picker. He can finally get back into his base. He's going to take this jump pad. Red's going to have a chance to clear this and pull ahead again. Blue though, good job having 2 people on the stick, 3 on the stick. See, once again, Red is actually outnumbered in their own base. And MassD, you can't be outnumbered on your flag stand when you're trying to come back and seal up for a cap.
No, that tells me guys aren't playing proper positions. They're not suiciding.
And I'm thinking maybe they've got offensive players that are setting up for another grab or whatever the case may be. But you gotta, in a tie game, 2.5 minutes to go. It's all about that one cap. That one cap is all that matters. So who haven't I watched? actually haven't watched Pricks. I'm gonna watch Pricks because he's been getting their amps, and he's such a huge defensive presence. He's been, I mean, one of the pair that have been dominating so far in this tournament. I'm gonna take his perspective for a bit and see if, I mean, I don't think either team's gonna change their positioning or anything. Being a tie game, I think they're comfortable with how they're playing.
Yeah, both teams are getting flags back to the bases.
I say that, but now Taida is in his base, DMing. I don't know if he was just dropping back for a second or if he's actually going to be playing defense.
So Simpson, he's got the flag right now coming out high lightning gun.
I think Imitator thought he had the flag there. That was really strange. So let's catch up with this flag carrier. Simpson, he can get into his high mid. I don't think Red Team sees him. He's sneaking up behind him.
He should go in low. Yeah,
there he goes. Switches up lows. He's still got plenty of health, and he's actually 97 armor. He's going to be able to withstand anything they throw at him. This could be the winning cap right here as Necro pulls ahead. The nice double back there. And
they
Red
totally
just
lost
completely,
track of him.
yeah,
no
I mean,
idea where he was.
Completely juked them. He had 100 armor left, so he could safely take that jump pad with no worries whatsoever. That was that. I mean, a minute left.
That's what you got to do against a team like MassD. They've got all these guys that drop back and try to cut you off the mid. But if they don't know where you are, you go sneak right by them. You're gonna have an easy cap.
And we've seen Made try to do that against Necro in this game already, kind of, you know, letting the D get in front of them and doubling back and really just trying to get them turned around. This is a very wide map. I liken it to say Anfractuous, just in the fact that there's so many different disparate routes. There's routes, wow, multi-kill with a piston there by Made. He's going to get back across the mid. This game isn't over yet. There's going to be a pickup here. Imitator's getting it into his high. He's going to be able to go straight. The thing is, they have to stay on their stand now. They need to put everybody on return. They have 3 people covering. Well, a bit of a miscue here. They're so concerned about covering their flag here, but someone's going to have to return. He's not going to be able to get back to his stand in time, even if they get the return.
Yeah, Necro has amp as well.
And that's going to do it.
That's going to be it.
Necro coming back on this one. Both teams had a couple, like I say, last-second denials on their stick. Maybe a couple caps they should have had that they didn't. You saw that repeatedly. I mean, Sonic, the first 2 caps that they had in the game were both rebound caps, so credit him with staying aggressive, catching them out of position. I mean, both teams played well, but man, that was back and forth.
Yeah, I thought Made had a really strong game on MassD, and but I mean, I got my hats off to Simpson and Sonic. I think their offense they were running was really good, and I don't know why, but MassD just kept losing track of their flag carrier.
Yeah, they had multiple instances where they just weren't able to clear their base once their carrier was back in. Basically, like I said, the stat I keep wanting to get out of the UT is the conversion rate. You know, getting the flag home to, you know, capping a flag once you get it back in your base. And their conversion rate was really low this game. You really can't give up. You can't give those up on a map like this where it's not particularly easy to get the flag back to your base.
30 seconds left.
No, exactly. Although I will say Sonic made it look easy. 2 pistons and you're in your base, but
yeah, again, it's interesting. I like the fact that you can change routes if you're willing to take damage, and the aspect that this map has is things where like the long exit route will be the short entrance route. So like you can kind of choose whether you want to get out quick or come back in quick, you know, kind of thing. And they used those pistons to great effect, shortening those distances. I'm not sure if Pistola is the map we're playing, or if it's just what got timed in there.
yeah, I think TwinTombs is one of those maps that, you know, North Americans we never really played it very much. But after playing it recently now, I actually have grown to like the map. It has a different flow to it, but it's got a unique feel.
Well, I think the worry amongst the North American community was, okay, you have Shock and LG both right by each other in the flag room. How can this possibly be fun? And I think the truth of the matter is that there's just so many different entrances into the base. It's not that easy to outfrag. Plus, you don't really get stacked up in base.
That's right.
You're fairly vulnerable, and I think that's the reason why it's actually a little more wide open than maybe it initially feels once people learn how to attack on it. I mean, hell, I used to play Instagib CTF where you had 2 defenders in that room with the Instagib rifle.
Oh god, that can't be fun.
But I mean, when you drop 3 offense in there, you know, you get a couple kills and you're off to the races. So, you know, it's interesting. Looks like we're doing a coin toss now. I'm gonna try to see if I can get my IRC up again. Let's see. That one. Why does it think I have 2 IRCs open? Correct. Sorry. Well, hell. Try that. There we go. Let's see what's going on live. Anymore, I cannot. Let's see the last few lines.
Well, we have to think Bob's ping is affecting him. I mean, I'm used to playing with 140 ping, much like he is, but getting close to 200, that's a whole new ball game. I mean, getting that translocator out must be dreadful.
Yeah, I mean,
that's got to be just terrible.
I mean, that's the thing is, you know, I played with European teams for a while back when I was in college. And once you know, 120, 130, even up to 140, you don't really notice it that much. It's a lot of little extra delays. Over that 150 mark, it starts getting really hairy. When you throw a little bit of packet loss into that, oh my gosh.
Yeah, and you commented on how the translocator's affected, and that is the big difference in CTF. But you can't forget movement as well. And to make certain piston jumps, it's pretty tricky if you're used to playing at a lower ping, and now all of a sudden you're 50 ms higher.
Yeah, especially. Oh lord. Having some issues getting this map list. Is Aquatica on the map list? Anyway. So yeah, you got 2 teams here. Both European. We're not seeing any of this business where you know, one team may not be familiar with a set of maps. I would like to see them play more of a European oriented. I would like to see something like that we don't normally see, like maybe even I don't want to see Citadel for sure. That'd be impossible to cast. Maybe even like a Sulfur.
Oh, I would love Citadel. But that's the type of player I am. I like those fast maps.
Yeah, we have words for you. We have words for people like you. I don't want to say it on the stream. I'll tell you. All right, so they're still setting that up.
I don't know what are the maps. I gotta look. Because you know there's gonna be obvious maps that are gonna get voted out probably.
Well, you imagine that the maps that, you know, European teams tend to not like, you're probably gonna get a Orbital Classic. They're not gonna play that. November, I don't think they like that.
I think, you know, Arcanaster is a map that MassD is very, very good at. I have a hard time thinking Sonic's not gonna vote that out of the selection, because they've just destroyed teams on that map, and I know Made is very good at that map, and Bob, it being an open map, Bob's just gonna be able to use that hit scan of his. It'll be ugly.
Yeah, I think Necro might want to sort of bottle things up a bit, like maybe even play something like a Camper Crossings or Orbital 2.
Exactly. I think Camper's Crossing would be a really good map for them.
I mean, honestly, I think November could be a good map for them, but I don't know if any of these folks have played November. I don't know how popular that is or was in the European scene.
I agree. Any map that's gonna slow things down, and you can use spam, I think that's where they will excel.
Yeah, they're definitely feeling a little bit of a different dynamic with their different lineup here. Not as dominant of a defense. They're also playing against, again, a very good offensive group as well. So they can't count on doing what they were doing in past matches, where they just shoved 2 defense back there and forgot about it. They're definitely going to have to play more different positions around the map where their defense is gonna, or their offense is gonna have to maybe drop back from time to time. But yeah, I mean, we saw them play. I think it was Orbital 2 was played in one of the weeks. We saw them play really well on that. But again, different lineups, so I don't even know how much we can judge based on the past matches. Okay, we see. Okay, well, MassD immediately eliminates Orbital 2. Sonic gets rid of November. There goes Citadel, so not entirely shocking. Combination of trying to take away the enemy's strengths and then also, of course, eliminating your weaknesses. Oh Lord. With the map spam going crazy. I have to imagine Orbital Classic's going to get eliminated just because I don't think European can play the map at all.
No, you know, I tried playing a pug with some Europeans on that map, and it was painful. I mean, if you're not used to playing a map, you just don't know what you're doing on it, right?
So I figure that's gonna go. Oh, he votes Pistola out. Interesting. That was one that I thought maybe could end up on as kind of a middle ground that I thought Necro maybe could do well on, but Sonic getting rid of it. And it could be his call. It could be at the point where he's just choosing which maps they want to run offense on and feel confident running offense on. And again, though, Necro, you might even see them do a 3D on something like a Campers if they feel like their offensive pair is feeling comfortable.
I think they would have a lot of success if they picked Campers and did that. But I have a feeling MassDef is gonna hold that one out.
Sulfur's going, which not surprising. I always liked the mid of Sulfur, but the bases always felt a little awkward to me.
You know, I'd like to see Grendel Keep. That would be a fun map.
I have a feeling it may come down to that. 'Cause like I say, teams are they're eliminating maps that they don't want to play, but they don't want to waste an elimination. You know, they're. I don't know how if a map like Anfractuous, I'm not really sure who that would benefit.
I think that would benefit MassDef myself. Just based on power-up control and just how open the map is.
Vodka goes away. Alright, so looking at these, got a pretty good selection of maps here. You figure they're just baiting each other to be the first one to vote out Orbital Classic. There's no way they're going to end up playing that, so they're kind of just, there we go. Imitator finally snatches that one out. Like you said, kind of surprised not to see Arcanastre eliminated yet. Maybe, I mean, both teams have played the map successfully though.
True, but I don't know. I think that's playing with fire if you're Necro.
They may be saving that one. Oh, there you go. Votes it out immediately. So some very, very widely varying maps that we're looking at left here. Say if you're Necro, if I'm Necro, I want Campers or Grendel. I don't know how 3D on Vault City might work out. That might let them lock it down and slow it down. But again, we saw MassD play that map really well last week.
Yeah, that's another map. 3D on Vault City works very well. And I think Necro has the offense that they can do it. Successful getting flags back. Just two guys.
I will say this, Necro's D does still seem to be a little bit more sharp and in sync as far as their positioning. And we saw MassD's defense out of position a couple times on TwinTombs.
Yep,
so
I agree.
I'm curious if that would come into play in a hectic style map, like you say in Anfractuous. Something where the flag carriers, you're in transition a lot.
Yeah, you know, Tolyan plays a lot like a Chow does, so you have that aspect on D. Now, I don't know combo shock too well, but I feel like they're lacking that fragging power on their defense.
Yeah, I agree. I think they're an offensive. I think offense is the strength of their team at the moment.
For sure.
The D definitely
yeah.
came up big. I mean, even to get him here by beating DTF, D came up huge on Vault City. Bro eliminates campers.
Really?
Interesting.
That is interesting.
All I can think is that Sonic is eliminating based on what he wants to run on. But what do you do though? Do you play? You can't really play a true. I guess you could play a true mid on Anfrac. I mean, you got to figure him and Simpson could get the flag across in either one of these maps just with them two, which would allow them to play a mid or a third defender. But neither one of these maps are really great for that.
But what maps do we have left in the...
It's Anfractuous or Grindel Keep. Those are the two left. It's going to be
wow.
up to MassD to choose. You know, we might just see a Grindel Keep, because like I say, I think Anfrac would benefit MassD's offense, but I'm not sure. I think that defensive matchup would be
good point. That's a good point, Nate. Yeah.
Because it's so easy to lose track of stuff and have to keep things, you know, communicated. Anfrac just puts so much pressure on the D.
That's actually a really good point. Yeah, they might be better off with Grindel Keep. That way, you can have your offense drop back a little bit to help you out some more.
Yeah. That said, I'm not sure if I'm Necro. I'm not sure I have a clear preference if I'm Necro at this point. We both thought they were going to go campers, so if they're looking for a faster-paced offensive game here, then they've got it. And I think either one is pretty much going to be the same for them from their perspective. But I don't know what their plan is. Ogren, okay, so we're going to see an Anfractuous. This will definitely be exciting. This will be a very high-speed game with a lot of transition. We're going to have flags moving around all over the place, and it's going to be a matter of really which team can clear the base when their flag carrier is coming in. And again, we saw both teams lose multiple caps last game on TwinTombs doing just that. So it'll be definitely a game that comes down to execution. Anfractuous it is. Getting it voted up here as players are still in the server. And the interesting thing about Anfractuous is that since it's so mid-heavy with the defense constantly chasing flag carriers around the map, you often end up with amps in the hands of people who might not normally have them. You often get, you know, defenders coming in on return with an amp. It can get a little chaotic. So I wonder if either team is going to dedicate one person to playing more of a mid, maybe playing at the enemy shock to try to keep tabs on those power-ups.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Some more music up in the background. I'm actually going to take this opportunity to grab myself a drink because I think these guys are going to take a couple minutes to get all the sides correct and all of that. So I'll be back in 1 second. So, Killer, what are the odds that we see a pipe run this map?
Oh, it looks like Anfractuous is the map they've chosen.
Yep.
Yeah, so as yeah, you'll probably see some pipe runs for sure. I think well, both Made and Sonic, they're both the type of guys that like to make unorthodox runs. So
Yeah, we definitely saw that on TwinTombs, even during flag standoffs, doing things that aren't that are effective, but not necessarily what you might expect. And I'll try to give a view of what we're talking about, but first I need to change these team names here, as we've decided to change colors again.
power-ups are gonna be absolutely huge on this.
Yeah, and that's why I'm curious to know if someone like Necro puts, or either team really has the ability to place someone in more of a mid role. You'd probably see Bob or I guess Taida doing that. Maybe just to get a little extra set of eyes on those power-ups. This will be an extremely fast-paced match. These flags are very easy to get moving, not necessarily easy to get across mid, but you can get them moving, and there's a very wide map, not unlike TwinTombs, with very disparate routes, and you can switch up horizontally, vertically. I mean, there's so many ways. We talked about with the pipes run. I think at some point you're going to see someone get up top here. The defense won't see them. They'll sneak up here, and they'll just kind of hop along these pipes, running across the top. And if somebody sees you, you're a sitting duck up there. But a lot of times, the team is scrambling around trying to check all the routes and all the spots, and you can just go right across the map. And as we've seen, I believe Danny did it in a pug a while back, you can actually piston off the wall here, land on your flag, so you can pretty much just wait up top at your 50 armor if you can sneak across like that. And it's a pretty dramatic way to run the flag on this map, but the benefit of it is you don't actually need any cover. It's completely sneaky ninja style, so I would not be shocked to see at least a couple of those attempts, and that's something that'll keep the defense honest as well. They have to learn to check for that.
And again, this is a cherry pick type map, so if MassD has the same issues they had in TwinTombs keeping track of the flag carrier, then they're gonna run into problems.
1.
Here's it ready, and it's game time, baby. Connex 5 here with Killer. For map 3, this will be the tiebreaker of this Draft League semifinal game between MassD and Necro. Saw MassD dominate Virility on their pick. Necro coming back to win on TwinTombs, which was their map pick. Now we're going to see a completely wide open map here on Anfractuous. And I just saw Combo Shot grabbing the flag. So definitely seeing some changing of the roles on MassD already. He actually grabs 100 armor, so I'm gonna stick with him as he's grabbed this 100 armor. Maybe he was just, maybe he's playing mid.
Looks like Made's playing defense.
So very interesting now. Combo Shack, he's not really going in. I think he's trying to stack up 150 armor here, hitting at the at Necro's 50 armor up top. Finally goes in for some offense.
Sonic is in mid already, coming into his base.
Let's watch this. He's pissing across the map, down on health. Needs a pickup. Oh, they missed the pickup. Wow,
Oh,
two
no.
red, two Necro players through their trans. They might have body blocked each other. That sometimes happens.
That's
So-
one of those situations where you're on offense and maybe you get too piston happy. Because that he turned around, he just seen that guy coming down top of him.
100 armor's going to be up. Couldn't see who stole it. Looks like that might have been Necro. Let's catch up with... Yep, Simpson has this 100 armor. It's not negated at all. He's still got full armor. He's going to head up to try to get that 50 up top. Not there. And once again, we're seeing someone with 100 armor just kind of waiting around in mid. It looks like he's going to wait to get this amp. So he may be going in on offense with amp and 100 armor. Nope, he actually just goes to grab. That means the amp's going to be up for grabs. Simpson's not going anywhere. Not sure if the amp got delayed. It hasn't spawned yet, unless someone grabbed it. It's another one of those maps where one good amp run provide enough cover to completely push a flag across the map single-handedly. So, yeah, like I was saying, we're definitely seeing some different positions here. On Necro's side, it's going to be Taida and Solid Snake playing D, and maybe Pricks too. They might be opting to play 3D on this map. So not entirely mind blowing. I mean, like we say, you got to think you have the confidence that your two offense, especially on an open map like this, can get the flag across.
That's what I would have done. I mean, most people would say that's a pretty lame way of playing, but if you have that offensive ability, why not?
Yeah, I mean, you got to force the other team to prove that they can do it.
Yeah, if you can get away with running 2 offense.
Try to keep up with these flags. I'm going to try not to keep it. I'm going to try to avoid it getting too hectic, but there's just, I mean, non-stop flags are going to be moving. So I think what I'm going to do. So we're catching up with Combo Shock here. You see him. Good job by Taida. I mean, denying him that lift. Funnels him off to the side. He's getting back to his minigun though. I don't know how Red didn't cut him off there. Fricks jumps in front, gets that kill. That was a bit of a scare right there. Amp goes to blue team.
Oh wow. Necro doing a good job attacking together.
You see him actually passing the flag there, not waiting for his flag here to die. It's a smart move. I don't think enough people do it. And that's one of the things that I want to see implemented better in the next UT. Make it a little more intuitive to do that. Sonic now is going to be running full health. Missing back to his minigun. Blue has no idea where he is. Finally they see him. He's all the way back into his base. Oh, and he goes down, jumps right into Bob. Good job by Bob breaking off his carrier to get that return. And now Imitator's flipping it. He's back in his base, gets denied that stand. And this is going to be all about the fight over the bases here.
Blue just got tons of kills.
Wow, Blue just completely out-fragging Necro on that one. That's going to be the icebreaker 4 minutes in, but this isn't really a map that you can turtle up too much in, so Necro has to feel like there's still plenty of time. And again, when you're running the flag with Simpson and Sonic, you have to feel reasonably confident.
You know, Sonic made a fatal error there by... I think he was trying to do the fastest route to his flag while the enemy had his flag, so they caught him going to that elevator. Unfortunately, if he had stayed minigun high, he might have been okay there. Just bad luck.
It's interesting. Necro with Bricks, Taida, and Solid Snake all kind of roaming around their base on D. They basically have 1 back on the flag and 2 up front. It's really going to push the front lines back into mid, which is fine in theory, but the problem is on such a wide map like this, you don't want to allow the flag carriers to get away from you like that. Speaking of flag carriers, Imitator's got this one. Oh, gets telefragged, I think. That might have been a shock beam. Either way, I mean, you're seeing just MassD running in one at a time. I mean, I'm honestly not sure they're going to be able to pull another one across unless they get some power-ups in them. Necro, Sonic has this moving. Simon's behind him. Simpson's behind him. He's going to be passing to him. Oh, he goes down to some rockets. Imitator's dancing around, got miniguns all over him. He'll go down. I want to watch, you know what? I'm going to watch some offense. I'm just going to watch, we'll say Simpson. On the attack, basically running, well, essentially running just a 2-man offense here. They completely clear out the base, so yeah, I mean, considering that they're only running 2 offense, they're doing a good job getting this flag moving, but you got to wonder, at some point their defense is going to have to push out to mid and help babysit these flags across.
Yeah, where I see them having problems is MassD dropping back, and then if there's just 2 of them, it's going to be tough. But
yeah, I mean, it's just going to be a matter of, as you see Combo Shot grabbing that amp and using it essentially defensively, so MassD definitely knows they have the lead, but still only about a third of the way into this game. There's still plenty of time, again, between Simpson and Sonic. You figure they're going to get flags across at some point. The question is how many. Combo Shock dropping back on D now, so maybe Blue is going to play a little bit of a 3D their own, I should say. Which I don't know. I
give
don't.
them a taste of their own medicine.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't love that idea. If you've already got one across, I feel like you're doing something right. I feel like it's a little too early in the game to be trying to run out the clock.
No, I agree.
Sonic, Simpson they're getting these flags moving.
They are.
And sooner or later, you know, someone's gonna double back or someone's gonna hide. All of a sudden, you're gonna have that feeling in your stomach, like, wait, where's the flag?
I see Red's kind of making a mistake too. I'm seeing they have 3D, which is good, but they're all chasing the flag carrier. There's not a single player that's getting in front of them. They all have their weapons out. You need a guy translocating, getting in front. That's how you're gonna have effective 3D.
Yeah, especially on this map, whenever you can break line of sight from the people chasing you so easily, you have to have someone in front to slow them down. And it looks like these flags are both moving now. We're gonna catch up with Imitator now, coming in high to their base. Only 36 health, but he's down by their flag stand, so to get this return, he'll be able to cap quickly. Flag goes down, gets returned. Oh, he gets telefragged on the stick! Wow, what a clutch return there by Taida. I think that was a telefrag. Could have just been a rocket and a suicide, but bottom line is that was the last chance they had to stop that. So still only a 1-cap game. Nice return right there.
Yeah, that was huge.
And again, just keeping up with these flags. Sonic going down. Non-stop activity. Yeah, it looks like Combo Shock dropped back to D for MassD, so I don't know if Taida went on offense or not. Definitely seeing Toyon in the base, and right now Blue, yeah, it's still Made and Toyon on defense, I guess. They're really roaming around a lot. Toyon's going all the way up to mid, so kind of surprising we're not seeing more aggression right now, Necro, because their flag stand only has one person anywhere near it right now. Oh wow, nicely timed combo there.
Wow,
by Made.
that was nice.
Tell you what, this little lineup change putting Made on D might end up working out in their favor if they figure he's got the best fragging ability. That allows him to play 2 defense on Anfractuous. Bob running, not really what he needs to be doing, but he did get a pickup from a teammate, so that'll allow him to keep things going. Wow, all kinds of fire coming in. Simpson and Sonic
So it
once
looks
again
like
together.
Necro has the flag right now. Oh, we got.
Yep, switch it back up. Sonic, I guess that was a cherry pick. So he's now in a position where blue team doesn't know where he is. We may see the pipe run.
You might have called it.
I think this is what we're going to see here. Blue has no idea where Sonic is. He's waiting. He's communicating with his teammates going, where are they? Where are they? Where are you? Where are you? Okay, he doesn't go for the pipes because he has teammates set up. They still have no idea where he is.
The problem there is he's got so much cover now, I don't know who's going to get their flag back. But,
well, he unfortunately ran away from his cover there, got caught out on his own. Now Imitator's heading back to their flag stand, and oh, he gets pounded on right at the very last second.
Oh my!
Flag gets returned, just a deluge of rockets, and that was maybe another issue.
That would have been maybe the end of the game right there. So that was a huge return.
And maybe seeing more of the same issue from MassD of not having their defense in position to clear the base. I mean, because that's going to happen on this map. Every time you come back to cap, you're going to expect just a huge, just rainbow arc of translocators and flak balls and combos. You have to clear that high entrance. And I didn't really see defenders there comboing and doing what they needed to do. So similar issue that we saw. We'll see if that ends up playing a role in the final outcome of the game. It was definitely a cap they should have had. Imitator, though, I have to say, Imitator doing a really good job of getting these flags moving.
Unfortunately, with Sonic and Simpson, I don't know exactly how many 100 shields they all have, but having just 2 attack, they might be struggling on getting power-ups.
That's a good point. That's why I think if you're going to play 3D, you got to have one pushed up at least to your shock, just to have a presence in mid.
Yeah, so Sonic, between the 2 of them, they have 300 shields. That means probably all the other 100 shields have been going to MassD.
Necro right now is doing something interesting. They're actually kind of like spawn killing MassD. Like we got someone, I think Tolyan, not Tolyan. I don't know. It was somebody set up like spamming their minigun and their rockets and just like trying to disrupt people on their way out. Combo Shock running the flag with Amp. Again, less than ideal because you have to either give up Amp or be exposed by not having a shield gun out. A nice pickup there by Imitator there. They're going to get a cover kill there. Sonic gets 1 kill. Offense is on return. That means that Oh wow, nice cutoff there by Solid Snake,
Oh,
and that's what we wanted to
Sim-
see.
Simpson's coming towards his link right now.
Yep, I'm on him. He gets zapped from behind. Pricks with a nice pickup. He's going to be shot all over the place, and you know, really just a good job swimming
There's
to the
the
flag
cherry
there.
pick,
Sonic,
and here we go. This is exactly what we were talking about.
And if you're running two offense or if you're running two offense on a map like this is exactly what you want to do. Is you want to get them out of position, basically get a free ride. Simpson though, perhaps giving away his position by showing up. Oh, I thought he was going to fall down that hole. He's going to get all the way back to his flag. They don't know where he is. They have no idea where he is.
He has free cover.
Yeah, he has
They
way
should
too much
be
cover
returning.
though. Yeah, if the enemy doesn't know where your flag carrier is, you need to be getting return.
Exactly. They made
Now
that
he's
mistake
all by
twice now.
himself. Oh, he gets that kill. Whew, that was lucky right there. I'm going to have one health pack, so they need to set up for a standoff now. They need to have... Flag gets returned. Everybody needs to be back in their base right now. Necro does that. You see that combo coming in, clearing it from the top, and that's how you do it. Babe, I mean, that's exactly what we talked about. You saw that big combo coming in, denying the denial, you know, not letting them get that last second grab. You have to do that on this map, and you know, Necro's been doing a better job of that, and I think that's could come into play in the final outcome here. Got a tie game now.
I think Necro was fortunate there because they made a huge blunder by having that much cover. They need to, if they're gonna play 3D, they gotta hold that flag down and let Sonic and Simpson sneak around.
Yeah, you gotta trust your carriers to do what they're doing, because Blue had no idea where he was. So they could have put 4 people on their flag stand, and he could have just waltzed on home. And instead, they were all on cover, and then they all backed off, and he ended up one-on-one, was able to get that clutch rocket kill. I mean, he should have gone down there, and he managed to get the kill and survive. And credit him, but that's really a bad position to put your flag carrier in. Now we're watching Imitator. Not really going anywhere from that. Maybe what I'm going to do, I need to switch to a defender, because we're just going back and forth over here with all these... Let's see what we can... You know what, I'll watch Imitator. I want to watch him go in. He's been getting these flags moving. It sounds like Amp was taken. Did you see who got it?
I did. It's Bob, actually, so probably worth watching.
Yep, he's going in. He actually got pegged by Pricks, so good job by him trying to take out. He's actually focusing him down. Yep, good job by Pricks focusing down the power up.
Bob did a good job distracting them there, even though he didn't get any kills.
Yeah, all you can do is, if you can pull those crosshairs off of your flag carrier long enough, they can get out, and all of a sudden they can be off to the races.
Yeah, no, that wasn't all for nothing. He did a good job there.
Bob's going to grab him piston, try to put some space between him and the defense. Yeah, big mistake by the defense there. You have to take away, you have to deny that lift. Almost got telefragged in midair. He's somehow making this work, but no cover there, really. I don't think he knew where he was going, and when you're kind of improvising, it's hard for you to get your cover set up ahead of time.
I think that was an instant where he missed the jump, but you look at his ping and PL, it's very easy to miss that double jump tap.
Yeah. Ooh, Simpson had 100 armor and just got completely stomped out, so disappointing move there. They really need to make the most of those 100 armors whenever they get a chance. Oh, big air rock there on Tolian. Doesn't kill him, though. Flag moving. It looks like Simpson and Sonic are doing basically a two-man just cherry pick offense, which I think is a great idea if they can get the flag moving.
Yeah, awesome idea. I think they're doing an excellent job right now.
Blue flag is going up top. He's going to get cut off pretty effectively, so... I mean, both teams' defenses are playing effectively. It's 1-1 on Anfractuous with 3 minutes left, under 4 minutes left, so... They're doing what they want to do. I feel like, to me, this whole both teams playing 3D kind of, I feel like it benefits Necro better than MassD. A little concerned, especially with their lineup the way it is.
Well, and the problem is if you have Bob running offense with somebody, yeah, he's going to get lots of kills, but it's going to be harder for him to get flag pickups because there is a huge delay there in bringing out your translocator, and that makes it difficult to get pickups.
I'm going to watch some of Necros do right now and see what they're seeing. I mean, it's pretty much you would expect in a one-to-one game on Anfractuous with 3D. You're seeing one person come in, get annihilated, another person come in and get annihilated. And I think that an amp run on offense could be what ends up cracking it for one side or the other.
Oh, again, good move. Simpson's coming to enemy link.
I just
he's
completely swarmed. Back to Solid
They're-
Snake.
Probably getting frustrated because they're now playing against 3D as well, so.
Yep, and that's why, you know, that's when you just have to know. I mean, the scoreboard doesn't tell you everything. If you're Necro right now, you have to feel like you're winning this game, especially after denying that
I
cap
think
earlier.
so.
Yeah, the
I would have
scoreboard may
given
be tied, but
MassD the advantage in this map, so I think they're doing a great job.
you have to be happy with where you're at this point. I think the momentum, while it may seem subtle, I think the momentum is in their favor. Although, to your point about them having trouble with the power-ups, when it gets to the point where one cap ends it, you do start to worry about that. And I'd like to see
Yeah.
the stats.
Sonic. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, Con, but Sonic just took the 100 shield there.
Okay, so I mean, I've seen him. I've seen Simpson with the 100 shield a couple times too. So now he's got 120 armor, pushing his way towards Amp. He's gonna switch up, go down low, probably
Wow,
piss him into his base. Oh, gets disrupted by a
switch
rocket.
below. That was really effective.
They block.
Oh, he's gonna
Block
be
the lift.
careful
Oh,
here.
he's got to be.
Oh no.
Yeah, that's the lift is great at putting distance between you and your opponent, but if they cut you off, you are absolutely boned. It's a very much a risk-reward proposition.
Yeah, that's one way to put it for sure. And you know, it's unfortunate because that was actually a really good run that he made. It seemed like there was no support, and the fact that MassD had their flag didn't help either. That's when you have that 3D has to be able to clean that stuff up.
Alright, I'm gonna watch Made for a bit and see what kind of pain he's dropping in on these these attackers we've been talking about. Simpson just getting juggled on the way to the flag. But to the point I was, to what I was eventually making my way around towards is that if you're an experienced CTF player, I think sometimes you have to remind yourself, that in a game like this, it can be very frustrating. You don't want to go outside your comfort zone. You don't want to try to overextend. You have to remind yourself, hey, yeah, my stats might be low. I might have a bunch of deaths or whatever, but that's not the point. Sometimes there's a subtle momentum. Things like knowing where the front line is in a map and where you're pushing it. And that's what I think it takes in a really just a long game like this. Is, you have to know how to judge what's happening. You don't necessarily need to change anything up, I think, if you're Necro at this point.
Oh, they're coming into their base.
Yep,
Necro's coming
Simpson
in.
gets cut off by... Oh, no pickup there.
Oh.
Solid Snake, perhaps. Again, when you get a defender, a TDM player, maybe not as comfortable, doesn't have those instincts to pull out that translocator and immediately try to get that pickup, because he desperately needed that. Bob now grabbing the flag with Amp.
Just
cover
a quick
a bit.
comment. If you know the other team's playing 2 offense and you know where the flag carrier is, you're far better off trying to cut him off rather than getting a quick grab, because you got 3 guys spamming the flag.
Yeah, exactly.
And so that was a good job by them to cut him off there instead of going for a pickup.
Yeah, that's situational awareness.
smart.
If one team is overcommitting to one thing, you got to use it against them, and that's exactly what they did.
That's right. Perfectly said, yes.
See, I'm gonna watch Imitator now and see him. Oh, he almost juggled a grenade there on the way in. I'm going to actually take this opportunity to get an idea of what things look like in mid. So it looks like Necro is pushing up 1 to 2 of their defenders up high mid towards Amp, and then maybe just collapsing backwards as people get past him. Right now you actually have Simpson fighting on the Amp alone, though, and that's the thing, is that if you're going to play 3D, I feel like you can put one... I would put 2 on flag and maybe 1 at that shock in mid. Now Simpson actually grabs this Amp, but he's just going to be absolutely annihilated. I feel like maybe what they need to do is push up a defender to get an Amp, and then use that Amp run to play 3 offense.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea.
Of course, this is much easier.
Especially in overtime.
Yeah, when all you need is that one cap. You don't have to worry about rebounds. You can commit all out to 1 cap. If it works, you win instantly. Of course, this is all easy to analyze and say whenever I'm just watching it all. It's much harder when you're communicating and yelling and calling out times and doing everything in the heat of the battle. But that's why,
You know,
that's a lot of times we'll separate top tier teams from teams that are good but not great. It's the ability to adjust.
Oh,
Simpson
it looks like
doubling back.
Necro's coming in.
Sonic there for cover. They're pushing up pricks. They're pushing everybody up to cover. This is exactly what they need to do. However, they need to be wary. They don't want to leave their flag carrier alone. We saw that earlier. He's going to get up to his base. Now everybody needs to collapse back. Everybody leaves the flag carrier though. He's by himself.
Again.
He goes down.
Yeah,
And there's one behind him. The flag carrier is behind him. And once again, Simpson all by himself. Two people drop down on him.
That should never happen. Never.
You should always have at least one person. At that point, I would even put two on the flag carrier. And then just have two in
That's
return.
frustrating.
That is...
When you're the guy with the flag, you just don't know how frustrating that is.
Yeah, you did 85% of the work, to get to a cap and ends up getting them nothing.
Yeah.
Someone took amp. Let's try to catch up with who that is.
I'm sure a few cuss words were spoken there.
Bob gets amp. He's going in. He's going to provide some cover, or at least a distraction. He's got pricks on the side, so we'll take him out. His team can get a grab. He got a double kill going, maybe a multi here. And his teammate, interesting, runs away from his amp cover. That's a bit of a mistake there. So Imitator now running with 3 health. Good use of the lift there, but he's going to be in a really tough spot if people come in behind him here. He's going to make it across the pipes. He may stay pipes here. Oh, they see him. He's going to be in a bad spot there. And there, oh, almost a nice pickup.
That's a perfect example of, I think that was Bob. Just couldn't get that pickup, and I know what that's like. It's just that extra ping you have. It costs you.
Ooh, Imitator just grabbed 100 armor completely untouched. Now he's damaged, but looks like they're going to have sole control over that 100 armor now. I don't think Necro heard it taken, so they're going to know when it's spawning. It could definitely play a role in overtime here. And one thing to keep in mind, too, is these players need to keep an eye on the clock and count backwards, because in overtime, since the clock counts up, that can sometimes disrupt people. Imitator has a little bit of armor. He's going to actually piss it out to mid. Necro's all behind him. Nobody cutting him off again, but they do get that final shot to stop him.
So this is now becoming a game of attrition.
Yep,
Whoever can keep focused more.
Yep, and you're basically looking at just a situation where the offenses have to keep pressuring the defenses and just hoping that they make a mistake. I still, I love, like you say, I love the idea of doing a 2-man revolving door just cherry picking, but it's hard to get that started against 3D because you have to get the flag moving first.
Yeah, you got to get it moving, exactly. That's the key.
Made now grabs the flag, so MassD may be pushing up a little bit of extra offense, try to get this thing ended. He's going to be on the run. I don't know if they dropped anybody back on D to replace him or not. Maybe they just switched it up. He's going to be on a killing spree, coming back into his minigun, really low in health, but there's nobody in front of him. He's going to be down. Rockets on top of him. Oh, wow. I think that was Simpson.
Here's another thing you can do.
That return.
The way they're playing right now, if you're on defense and you have 3D, there are vials on this map, so it's not crazy to think you could get stacked up on vials in a 50 shield and then switch positions out and make a stacked run. And I think that's probably what happened there with Made.
Well, it looks like Bob is actually replacing him on D, and I have to say that actually makes sense to me, given that if these flags aren't moving very far, Bob doesn't have to worry so much about his connection affecting his translocator. He's just going to be sitting in their base with the weapon out the whole time, DMing. And so he's not going to rely on his mobility. So I like this. I like putting him in mid and then putting Made, who has already gotten 2 flag runs going now. That switch up could be huge for MassD. However, they're playing against an amp right now. Necro picked up, so we're going to watch Solid Snake as their D uses this amp. I would think that this is a spot where you'd like to push up this amp, at least to mid.
Yeah, you can tell already the difference Made is making on offense. It's just the fact of grabbing a lot more and frequently and getting it off the stick. That's
I think
they were lacking that.
It's just the aggression. It's like I said, it's putting that pressure on them. It's forcing the D to not be out of position. This flag's been gone for a minute. Where is it at? Oh, Simpson's still kind of dancing around. But this is a situation where if he can get this flag moving, he needs to go left or right though. He can't just be right in front of the stick. He needs to get it moving left, like to minigun or to flak or something. That way Sonic can effectively cherry pick. He kind of cherry picked here. He still has some armor pissing into mid, but he is going to have a lot of MassD all over him. Good job sweeping through those health vials. Simpson, though, not able to get the pickup there. Got the kill, but not the pickup. You see Made a good job of trying to hide from Red. They do see him, though, and they're going to... Oh, they don't cut him off on the lift, but he does get killed on the lift, so not going to work there. I feel like I want to watch Made for a little bit, because he's really been the... Oh, somebody just took Amp. Was that Simpson again? On camera. Yep, that's Simpson going in with Amp. Well, he's going to go down in a heap. Made goes down in a heap. I do want to stick with Made, though. I want to see what he's been doing differently. Well, actually, we'll follow Imitator. He's got miniguns all over him. I don't feel like he's going to get... He gets to the 100 armor, but that time Necro did a good job getting in front of him, blocking him off.
Exactly.
You know, it's not... Meanwhile, Made pisting across, going towards his minigun. He still has plenty of health. He's just trying to outrun Necro at this point. Pisting all the way back to his minigun. He's going to be in his base. They don't get the pickup. Wow.
Yeah.
And
They're looking a lot more dangerous with Made on offense.
Absolutely. Just the aggression. It's not, you know, he's not necessarily fragging his way out. Just putting more pressure on them. And like we say, what Necro was trying to do to MassD, just getting their D moving. That's what Made now is doing to Necro's defense, just moving them around, trying to like make them, testing them left, testing them right, you know, making them go each direction, and maybe one time they'll grab and they'll guess wrong and he'll be able to get across. Armor. Made gets this 100 armor. See if he goes up for 50. Oh, his teammate goes down, so he's going to be grabbing with 2 combos already in him. He's going to be pinned to the wall. That was just that went south in a hurry.
Oh. So someone was hacking. Now they're in trouble because now they're playing 4-on-5 and they don't have an aimbot anymore. So that could really turn the tides.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he hit a bind that was like an admin login bind or what. Never.
Well, you know, you play 10 minutes of overtime. You desperate times call for desperate measures.
Yeah, this is a bold strategy. Essentially calling a timeout, getting himself kicked from the game.
It would be interesting to see what he got kicked for.
It said he tried to log in as admin with incorrect credentials. That's why I'm wondering if maybe he has like a bind to log in as admin to the server, the password changed or something.
Okay.
That's just a guess, like a total guess on my part.
Now, it might seem like a small thing that just happened there, but that can totally change the momentum of a game.
Yeah,
so,
and even more tangibly, it can throw off your timing of your power-ups that everybody had. At the same time, if you've got a team that's focused, that can actually allow you to talk and like share the timings. Like now, maybe someone who has that timing on Amp, they can actually have the time to say, "Hey guys, you know, here's the time when everybody know. Let's plan on doing this." So, you know, if you're a team that really has your business together, you want to use a moment like this to your advantage.
That's right, and then on top of that, Blue has red flag. I don't know where they're at with that, but I mean that's another factor. So.
Yeah, that can be very disruptive when you're in the middle of a fight or in the middle of a translocator or whatever. Yeah, Made's got this flag, leaving their base. Oh, he gets caught up there in the pipes, so he does have some cover, so a reasonably promising run. Oh, Prix misses the combo that would have taken him out. That ended pretty quickly there, but man, that was a bit dangerous. Solid Snake grabbing the flag now. So we're seeing some people kind of switching up their positions now. I don't know if Necro is maybe playing 3 offense, but their flag is moving, so you wonder... Well, there were definitely 4 in return there for Blue, so... Curious if that's going to be something that they do. He's definitely still have Prix on D. Nope, Solid Snake's back on D. Well, actually, it's pushing out to mid now, so Necro might be pushing Solid Snake at the very least out to mid, as opposed to being an in-base defense. We'll see if that helps them crack this MassD.
Yeah, but things aren't moving on MassDef's flag down too much anymore. I definitely feel like they've got the momentum.
Yeah, I mean the same reason we said Necro felt like they were winning earlier. It's the opposite now. MassD's got their flag moving a lot more. Their defense has been keeping the flag home. That switching Made and Bob, I think was a huge move. Like I say, it doesn't necessarily show up on the scoreboard yet, but I think that was a great tactical thing, and it's something that you don't need to be afraid to do. A lot of teams, I think, are afraid of switching positions mid-game, But it can be a huge tide turner. It's the correct move.
Yeah, I mean, in that case, they were the losing team, so it made sense to do something different, even though the score was tied. It looked like it was any minute after it was going to win.
Simpson, though, gets his flag moving. Sonic's right by him. These guys do a really good job of running together. They could get a third person that's as in sync with them, just to run, even like every couple minutes, just run a third person in there. I really feel like they could be they could pull something across, but I don't know if they're willing to do that. I don't know if they're willing to give up a defender. We did see Solid Snake grab earlier, but he's falling all the way back into his base again.
Yeah, and I would say the opposite. Like, I mean, MassD, it seems like Made and Imitator, they're a little bit off sync right now. They're kind of, it seems to me like they're kind of going in, not covering one another too often.
Yeah, I think they're playing much more independent, which, like we said, like Imitator's got something going. If he can get the defense, pull them out of position, and then maybe get a cherry pick and run it the other direction, you can catch them out of position. But I don't know that that's their intent. I think they're just... They get to mid, and they got people pushed up. Combo Shock's actually pushed all the way up, so their defense now, with the flag in his hands, I think he's got amp, too. Running into his high mid, he's actually going to be home free if they can keep it clear. This could be the game, and there it is.
That is.
Blue team
That's
is
the
the
game
winner.
right there.
And your match. So Necro, after a dominating season, goes down in the playoffs. MassD now with, I think it would be fair to call it 2 upsets now. I certainly didn't expect them to beat CTF on Vault City. They pushed them through to here. They took out Necro. A really, really close game here on Anfractuous. And so they're going to be in the finals